been great to see you again, and congrats on the new album. I think all of us, whether we were able to hear it or not, are super stoked for everything you're doing, and we can't wait to for it to drop for real. So please keep us posted. We're going to keep the mic rolling along. I'm going to mix it up and call a poet to the stage who I believe is sharing her work with us for the very first time on the Subdrift stage. So please give a warm welcome to Maya Devi, everybody.
Hi. Can you hear me properly? Yes? Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading a few stanzas from a longer collection of memoir prose poetry that I've been working on. And so the stanzas that I'll be reading will be covering like really heavy material on lived experience of domestic violence. So I just want to put a trigger warning out there and a content warning just for anybody who's like not in the right headspace or just doesn't feel comfortable listening to that. Yeah, so my collection of memoir prose poetry explores lived experience of the intersections of domestic violence, intergenerational trauma, mental health, poverty, substance abuse, and yeah. And the poem that I'll be reading a few stanzas from is called Not Always Violent. And I think it's like 6 minutes, but I'm going to try to read as fast as I can. Okay. You are not always violent, not immediately. The night you close vein-ridden hands around the base of this neck and lift. Throw me on basement floor, marbled and tiled. It is only when this vision dizzies, this breath spasms, that you loosen clenched jaw, loosen fist. Later that night, I am driven away, these hands cuffed and locked behind bruised spine. I am asked by officers, flat-faced and armed, to repeat the night for their notepads, cut off mid-sentence, corrected. He was only trying to keep you safe, hold you down, restrain you. And for years after, I keep quiet, deny myself the truth, keep coming home, back to you. You are not always violent, not immediately. You drag me in, slowly, slowly. I repeat to myself, speak to myself, not always violent, not immediately. Remind myself of the softness in your voice, the way you would lean over in bed, move lips across back of neck, say goodnight, slowly, slowly, not always violent, not immediately. When we move in the month of May, we share late night affogatos at El Gato Nero, fuck on attic balcony, thrift books at the BMV. When we move in the month of May, toes bare and pressed against these wooden floors, I sit in front of your laptop, finding your lies, how your words, the tone of your voice shift like the color of your eyes, a warm honey hardening into a cold green. You are not always violent, not immediately. When you are, you press together thin lips. Look at me the way you do. When you move, heavy furniture, 70-pound boxes, bend knees, tighten grip, lift, let your mind slip, eyes shift in that instant with the tightening, the whitening of your knuckles. I know, you go, I know. That night, you wrap this hair around your knuckles, tug, lift head, bash into wooden floor, repeat, tug, lift, bash. You don't stop until these cat-eyed glasses are bent, breaking until you color half the space ash blue. And again, I am taken away, tears stinging the lids of these swelling eyes. The patchwork on the skin seems faulty. The stitching comes undone. How this voice slips out, falls through a hole. How this self floats back and forth so easily, not knowing if I am inside or out. How I spend years unstitched, stitching, unstitched. How I used to wear the skin on my face, bare and proud, dewy and glowy without makeup. How now I cannot meet the eyes in this washroom mirror, cannot meet the eyes of my coworker, streetcar driver, barista, the cashier. Wonder if they see, don't see, blood vessels torn and cracking through layers of foundation. How now I walk home alone after work, hugging myself, clenching fistfuls of fur scarf, this fine coat. Tightening, releasing, tightening when cars drive by, when men stop, block way, roll down window, not knowing if I am going to be attacked, shot, or abducted. How now I walk home alone, head down, avoiding the eyes of strange men, crossing streets, not meeting their smiles, ignoring their comments, not knowing when they will strike, the way you do when we fight. When I move away for grad school, you beg to come with me. I say no. I pack my boxes, move across country, try to leave, move back to ocean, closer to family. I am 27 and trying to sleep alone for the first time in 7 years. How the soul of your voice echoes through the walls of this body, bounces these ribs, caged in this head, pierces knots in this neck, twists through these shoulders. How for weeks after I get stuck in some between space, trying to call myself from these half dreams. How now I wake up feverish with anger, my shirt damp, clinging to the spine, wanting to get back. How when I try to wake, I get stuck in some in between space, calling your name, not knowing if you hear or don't hear me. How I try to crack through, call myself from these half dreams. How I try to push sound off, how I move these paralyzed lips, call your name over and over, not knowing if I'm awake or asleep. I hear you in my sleep. How do I stop hearing you in my sleep? When the semester ends, I come back to you, to my little Italy attic in the middle of May. I spend 2 months fighting the same fights. When you tell me you will change, tell me the anger, the violence is not really you, but you never go to therapy, never get counseling like I ask you to. When the throbbing, the pulsing falls flat under chest, I tell you I want to fuck another man. In the morning, across from the grass stove, in the recycling bin sits a keyboard, torn apart from its screen, shards of glass, a broken mirror. I told you to take your hands off of me, begged you to loosen grip, went into next room, locked door, listened to the wall, your electronics being broken instead of me. The wiring between emotion and sex runs through with you. When one electrocutes, burns out, the other does too. I stop asking you to go to counseling, get therapy, the few trips sparks dead. I start to spend night after night away from you, hide from you when I hear the scrape of wooden door against uneven floor, sleep in next room, locked door when you come out of the washroom. Stuck, unstuck, I stop calling your name, stop hearing you in my sleep. I am cracking through, calling myself from these half dreams, pushing sound off tongue. The paralysis lifts, the voice sound slips through these sleepy lips. I am breathing you out of this body now, releasing pinched nerves, letting the echoes drone off these ribs in waves. I fuck another man, this is how I transition out of you. The mold is spreading fast underneath these attic walls. The thinning skin chips off papery and yellow. The paint like a bursting blood vessel. A long lid of eye cracks flat, cracks back, talks back. Roof caves in, can't stay, won't stay quiet anymore. Darling, you were soft and sweet, but violent too. They say it takes a woman 7 times to leave a man who batters your body black and blue. This is year 7. I am done trying to leave. I am through with you. Yeah, thank you. I'm working on a collection of prose poetry in a book, and I'm almost finished and like hoping to publish by the end of this year. And if you want to follow along with like my creative process, I'll put in my details, my Instagram handle in the chat. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Maya, for joining us first time on the virtual subdrift stage and for sharing that powerful and intense poem with us. A lot of love and affirmation coming for you in the chat, commending your poetry as being hypnotic, for your courage for speaking out. So we appreciate your voice and for speaking to these hard truths. So folks, if you need to take care of yourself, do what you need to do, please, by all means, go ahead and do so. And thanks again, Maya, for being with us.
And I'm also going to quickly plug again that this month we are collecting donations for Saheli, which is, as we mentioned, a Boston-based organization that works to end gender-based and domestic violence in South Asian and South Asian American communities. They offer confidential care in a wide variety of languages. They also dropped their website in the chat if you want to donate or support them directly. And also do like a lot of really amazing programming through a 24-hour hotline and so many other things. So thank you so much, Maya, for your words. And again, definitely check out Saheli if you're looking for an org to support.